I did not check myself before I showed up looking like I wrecked myself this morning, but too bad. Because this is kind of the reality of like just kind of your house lazy sweatshirt. I'm actually starting to wear workout outfits now when I work out. So that's kind of nice to like feel like I'm working out again. Whereas before, and sometimes it's just like in my jammies. But what I wanted to do today is talk about how to make your babies and kids enjoy being in the gym and being active with you. And we've done a couple of podcast episodes on this with the Mindset Mirror Connection with my co-host Christina Hathaway. But I'll get DMs on the Instagrams about like, man, I wish like my baby would do that, or like, how did you get your baby to be so calm in the gym? And so I just wanted to give like some tidbits, because I would actually have clients when they would come in to train, like they would bring their kids or they were welcome to bring their kids. So we had a setup there. I wanted to get some tidbits and some tools that I have and what we used with my clients and things that they offered to help me with and guidance. So the first thing is when she was a newborn, I'm going to come over here. I ended up using, and I actually had gotten this from a client, a laundry basket. And this is one, it definitely expands, but it's collapsible. So that was nice for storage purposes. So I got that idea from a client because they would come in here and I'd be like, well, what do you need? You know, and they'd be like, you don't have to get me anything. I'd be like, I'm going to have a kid someday, so I might as well get it and like figure out how this works before she comes. Or, well, I didn't know it was going to be a she at the time, but she's like, if you have a laundry basket, I was like, a laundry basket? Sold. So got that off of Amazon. And when it was really great with the clients is we'd stick the baby in there. Now they could sit upright at this time, so they were at that developmental milestone, and then we'd hook things to the holes in the laundry basket so that way they could play and grab with the toys. When Olivia was a baby, what I ended up doing was opening that up and putting her in there with a blanket. Now my occupational craniofacial therapist person's former client, Dominique, and / Olivia's person, she did not like that because apparently something with like they need to be on a hard firm surface, but like, to be honest, it worked for me and it kept her nice and warm in there, especially because when I started coming out here again, it was in the winter. So a laundry basket with a blanket for a newborn, and then a just laundry basket for a kid that can sit up on their own. Second thing that I have is a baby Bjorn bouncer guy. So originally she was not a fan of this. And I think this is really important for moms to listen and parents is just because they're not a fan doesn't mean it's not going to eventually work. So I like to call everything that we do with her exposure therapy. Put her in there, and once she got fussy, we were done. I would try and put her on the floor with the blanket because this is like her gym blanket now. So always have a gym blanket. So I'd try and put her on the floor with the blanket, see if that made a difference. Sometimes she'd give me a couple extra minutes to finish up the workout. Sometimes she was done. So this is the number one rule is once kid is done, you're done. And it's okay because you can come back to the gym if you have it in your home, or like maybe you've got like a little equipment set up in your home. You can always come back. So don't feel like if you didn't get the workout done in that time, like don't be frustrated with the baby. Just be like, okay, we're just done. We're going to move on to the next activity. And then I'm going to come back in here during either nap time or another time when like you're trying to rotate through the activities that you're doing with them throughout the day. So I have that as another option. Then number 2, I've got one of the, I don't even know what these are called. It's like a play mat with the hangy thingies. So this is her gym one. We have one inside the house that's something different. Does she know that they're different? I don't know, but I like to think she does, because that way it's more entertaining. I think, I don't know. So I'll throw her on there. So usually I start her in the baby Bjorn and then throw her on the floor with that guy, practice some tummy time in between sets, and just kind of continually keep her entertained. Now, that's the other key is continuing to keep them entertained. So in between my sets and when I'm resting, I'm going and engaging with her and making it fun. If I'm maybe doing like some goblet squats, I'm going to count and like face her and look at her and make her feel like she's participating. Whether that is actually what's happening in her head, I don't know, but it works. And so again, but once she's kind of done and fussy, I'm done. I'm not going to force her into this situation and keep her happy. And that was another thing. So when clients would bring their kids, we let the kid run around. Like or she, oh, I was thinking of one in particular. Let them run around, let them hang out. What I would do is set up plates, so like your barbell plates. And one of the kids, what he would do is jump from the plate. And so we would have him play lava essentially and just engage with him while we were doing that. Another kid, he would see mom doing presses or something like that. So I would give him like a lighter dumbbell. Those are two separate kids. So the plate jumper, how old was he? Was about 6. And so 6 years old. And then Henry was, I think 1 or 2. I forget his age right now. So he was, they're seeing mom do these things. Ashley would bring her daughter, Sophia. She would sit in there. So there was lots of options. But what would happen is if baby got upset or if kid got upset, pause, tend to them. Totally fine. We can always pick up the workout back up again. And so what we would do is a lot of creative things of like Mia, another baby, she would come in and she would want to do what my client was doing. So I have a second bench. So she would get on the bench and crawl on the bench and do, whatever she was going to do and just kind of make it fun. So make sure you're engaging with them. Make sure you're okay with stopping and starting the workout, thinking of the workout of just an activity and showing them that you're getting strong and incorporating them with just moving their body. I think for older kids, like what we would do is let them go play in the driveway, like see you working out. And if they want to join, great. Make it obviously safe for them in a safe way, but just incorporating them. Don't force them into it. So this is something that I see more so where people are like, man, I really try and get my kid to work out with me, but they're just not interested. And it's like, well, of course they're not interested. Like, were you interested in this when you were younger? Maybe, but probably not. So it's more so just having them present in the environment. And if they're starting to get curious, welcome them to join you. Maybe make the music fun. Maybe they don't want to do it today and we set up like a playpen so they can see you, but they can do their own thing. Maybe as they get older, you just say, hey, let's go outside real quick. Let them do like play with their scooter, do hopscotch and all that. And then while you're working out in the garage, or if it's in the house, one thing that I recommend. So one of my clients, she's got a playroom and I think she has a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old, I want to say, or a 1-year-old, somewhere between 1 and 4 between the two kids. And when I had first met with her, she's like, it's just so hard to get a workout done. I'm like, let's do the workout while you're playing with the kids. Right? Like we're on the floor, we can do some hip bridges. We're on the floor, we can do some chest presses. Like obviously make it safe, but make it flexible. I think so many people think a workout should be 60 minutes to get your best, gains or momentum. It needs to be in a gym and it needs to be done consecutively and every exercise needs to be perfect. That's not going to happen in a parent life. So it's those things of we need to practice flexibility. We need to have options for our kids. Once they're done, we're done. We need to invite them in this setting and we need to make it fun and welcoming and engaging. We also, for the older kids, maybe just let them play and do their own thing. And if they want to come in, like I said, then we invite them in. Now, is that going to screw up with your weights, your sets, your reps, and all that? Yeah, absolutely. But what is your goal here? Is your goal to get the workout in and be like the meanest, baddest, I'm still trying not to cuss, mom you can be? Well, then maybe like you do need to schedule time to go to the gym for yourself and not do it in the home, or maybe do it in the home when the kids are sleeping and have a little bit more of a structure. But if you're wanting your kids to be included in this kind of environment and grow up and think fitness is just, or like exercise and movement, I wouldn't even say like, hey, we're going to exercise today. It's like, hey, we're going to move our bodies today. Hey, we're going to get strong today. Like change the verbiage of like, you have to do this in order to achieve X results, more so of like, this is just something I do for fun. Like this is mommy's fun. You know how you like to go and play and run on the playground? This is what mommy's playground looks like. So incorporating that, I mean, even speaking of playground, like you can buy a TRX thingy. I still don't know what it's called, suspension trainer, and take it to the playground with you. You can swing it over the monkey bars or swing it over the swing set, and then you can do your own exercises while they're playing. Now, that doesn't mean, like, I certainly don't want to promote, like, don't pay attention to your kids, your fitness is more important. But I do want to promote you're just as important and worthy of doing these things and taking care of yourself, because ultimately that's going to give you more energy to show up for your kids and your family. So many of our clients come to us and start working with us and they're drained, they're exhausted, they don't have any time for themselves because they're giving so much to everybody else, their work, their careers, their family. outside family members and whatnot. And I get it. It's really hard to say no, and it's really hard to set boundaries because it's easier to just do it yourself. But what I'm telling you and what you can learn from working with us or just working from a coach or just saying like, okay, I'm going to do this, is that you will get so much more back to yourself and to your family if you can take care of yourself first. So for example, working out, if it's an appropriate amount of exercise and appropriate amount of intensity, you're going to have more energy. You're going to be able to show up more for your kids. You're going to sleep better. Your hormones are going to be better. You're going to be hungry and you're going to eat better and you're going to want to make better choices. It's such a snowball effect of once we start taking care of ourselves. So I do want to emphasize that because it's really important, long term, if you want to do this, like you can, but you have to be flexible and you have to understand that these rigid exercise rules that have come up and been pushed down our throats are so wrong. And I get it because I followed those rules, like, for much, how old am I? I'm 34, I think, 24. I mean, I probably followed those rules for about 10 years, and it took me a lot of undoing and asking why and what was that giving me. And even then, she's awake. All right. Well, that'll be it then. We need to take care of ourselves because you're going to come from an empty cup continuously and it's going to get larger and larger and larger. Other things that you can do to incorporate movement. So like say you don't go to a gym, say you don't want to, say you don't want to exercise or strength train, say that you just enjoy going for walks. Like bring your kid on a walk, get a stroller. Sometimes I'll baby wear her and on the walk just because it's easier. And so do that. Ask your kids, do they want to come for a walk? Or let's walk to the park. Like we've got a couple of parks in the neighborhood that I will gladly walk to. So thinking of ways to get more movement in and even just making it fun, put on their favorite music and it may be the same song over and over and over again, but it's important for you and it shows them what a healthy relationship with your body and movement can look like. Because ultimately you want the best for them and you're just trying to teach them and do your best. And none of us know what we're doing, right? We all have no clue. We're all just going by it. Okay, hang on. So we all have no idea what we're doing, but I promise you, if you're just trying your best and using each opportunity to learn and recreate the relationship that you're trying to have with your child, it'll work out. So hopefully that was helpful. If you have anything that you'd like me to shoot, let me know. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that way you know when new videos come out. To be honest, videos are probably going to be less and less, just because, again, like I said in the other one, I'm not filming my workouts anymore. I mean, at this point, like, somebody should be able to pick up a workout and decide what's best for them after going through, like, the early postpartum phases. Nutrition-wise, I'll give updates there, and I'll give updates on my mindset. But right now, we're just kind of rocking and rolling with going back to work and figuring out what it's like to have a baby that's a lot more alert. You think you would have more time, but you don't. Like in that newborn stage, you don't realize like all the time that you have because they're sleeping. But even then, you don't like really have time. And then once they get more alert and fun and interactive, you're like, oh my gosh, okay, here we go. All right, well, good luck to y'all. I'm here for you. And thanks for watching.